Great day. My name is Neona James, and this is part of my story. I was sentenced to 27 years in prison for a robbery charge out of York County, Virginia. At the time, I was young. I was 18, 19 years old, living in Williamsburg, Virginia, James City County to be exact. And I was in what I thought was love. I was with my youngest one's daughter, my youngest one's father. Back then, he was my whole world. You couldn't tell me anything about him. I thought I knew everything I needed to know. But what I know now is this. Sometimes love can be blind so bad that you can stop seeing yourself. You we committed a robbery together. I'm not here to glorify it. I'm not here to make excuses for it. I made choices. I take accountability for those choices. But I also want to tell the truth about the kind of pain, pressure, manipulation, brokenness that can lead a young woman to lose herself behind somebody else. Um, After that night, we ran, of course. We stayed gone for a couple of months. We even ran all the way to Tennessee. During that time, there was a lot of domestic violence that went on between us, a lot of fighting, a lot of emotional damage. I lost pregnancies, I lost pieces of myself. There were times I did not even want to live if I had to live without him. That's how deep I allowed myself to disappear. Eventually, we had a daughter together. She is now 20, about to be 21 this year. She is a beautiful mixture of both of us, talented, smart, bright. And my oldest daughter, who he claimed as his own, is beautiful and bright as well. My girls are my world. But back then, I didn't understand that loving somebody should never cost you your freedom, your children, your mind, or your future. Then, when they came to arrest me, I was at my mother's house. My oldest daughter was there with me. She was like only 7 years old around that time. She had to watch them put me in handcuffs. They wouldn't even let me hug her. They wouldn't let me console her. They wouldn't even let me explain anything. And that broke something in me. And that piece is still broken. Not just because I was going to jail, because my baby had to see her mother be taken away. And I could not protect her from that moment. I went to jail. I was denied bond. Then came court. I remember being in the bullpen at the courthouse, and he was already there. He told me, "It's okay, babe. We're going home today." And I believed him. I believed him because that is what I had always done. But I did not go home. When I got back to the jail, I called my mother. She had already picked him up. That is when I knew. I knew I was not going home. I knew I had been left to carry the weight by myself. And I told my mother to take care of my girls, and I'll call her later. That was just the beginning of me realizing that the person I had risked everything for was not going to risk anything for me. I asked him for one thing. I said, if I do this time, take care of our daughters. That's all I asked. But he did not even do that. He popped in every now and then. He wrote when he could sneak to write. But while I was sitting in prison, I had to face the truth, right? I had lost my freedom. I had lost my time with my kids. I had lost myself. And nobody was coming to save me. Big realization. So during those 6.5 years, I had to learn how to sit with myself. I had to learn how to stop blaming love for choices I made. I had to learn how to forgive myself without excusing myself. I had to learn how to become Neona again, and that wasn't easy. So when I came home, I was 27 years old then. Came home to daughters who had grown without me. One was 9 and one was 14. I had missed school years, birthdays, conversations, attitudes, tears, growing pains. I came home trying to be a mother again, but I had to learn who my children had become while I was gone. I had to accept that they had pain too. My oldest has seen too much. She had watched me go through too much. And because I lost respect for myself back then, I had to watch how that affected her too. See, that hurt different. She's 25 now because prison did not just punish me, it touched my children, it touched my mother, it touched my family, it touched every relationship I had to rebuild when I came home. I had to learn how to be a daughter again, a sister again, an auntie, a mother, a woman with boundaries. Because when you leave this world one way and come back years later, your mind can stay stuck in the age where you left, right? But everybody else keeps growing. So I had to grow too. I came home in 2014. By 2016, I had started my clothing business. I ran my business for about 10 years. And in 2026, now I made a decision to close that chapter because my heart had moved somewhere else. I fell in love with helping people, rebuilding them financially. So in 2023, I started working in credit. Then I got into taxes and I got my rights back and I became a notary. And I found purpose in helping people build their lives back from the ground up. But even in business, I had to learn lessons, right? People I thought were friends were really just using me. People I thought were helping me were really making money off me. So I stopped waiting for a seat at somebody else's table. I built my own. I invested in tax software. I started helping women and men get their license, get trained, open their own tax offices, build their own teams, and eventually get their own software. So, because I know what it feels like to have everything stripped from you, I know what it feels like to come home and not know where to start. That's a bad feeling. I know what it feels like to be judged by your past before people even ask about your purpose. And they, to this day, I can tell you, they still do me like that. And that is why I do what I do now. My services, my businesses help fund my nonprofit work. Through my nonprofit, I help justice impacted individuals with reentry, resumes, job readiness, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and business education. And for the ones who want to learn taxes, I will show them that too. Because reentry is not just about coming home, and it's about staying home. It's about having the tools, support, and confidence to not go back through those revolving doors. So to the young women, the young the young women and young men who think they have to lose themselves to prove they love somebody, you do not. To the woman sitting in prison wondering if her story is over, it is not. To the mother who missed time and is trying to rebuild with her children, start with truth, start with accountability, start with love. Healing takes time, but it is possible. And to every justice impacted person trying to come home and do right, you are more than your charge. You are more than your worst decision. Please keep that in mind. You are still somebody's mother, daughter, sister, aunt, father, brother, child, and friend. And you still have purpose. I lost time, but I found purpose. And now my mission is to help other people find theirs before the system convicts them. They do not have to have one. That is my story, and I'm still writing it. And as always, y'all know what it is. Protect your peace, protect your freedom, and have the day that you deserve.